Mr. Okafor lay still in the hospital bed, surrounded by the soft beeping of monitors. The dialysis machine hummed beside him, tubes running from his arm as it cleaned his blood. A nurse quietly adjusted the settings, her face calm but sympathetic. The dim room smelled of antiseptic, and IV fluids dripped steadily. Okafor stared at the ceiling, his thoughts weighed down by the hope of a kidney transplant, while the steady beeps filled the air around him. He glanced to the side, where his wife and eldest daughter were curled up together on the small, uncomfortable sofa by his bedside. He felt a deep ache, not just from the illness, but from what they'd all endured since his diagnosis. They had spent every last naira they had on hospital bills, especially the cost of dialysis. It amazed him how quickly life could turn upside down. One moment you're wealthy, and the next you're penniless, lying in a hospital bed, relying on a machine to keep you alive. He wished it were all just a nightmare. He cried every day, wondering what he could have done differently. Maybe given up alcohol sooner, paid closer attention to his health. But regrets were all he had now, and all he could do was pray for a miracle. He didn't want to leave his wife and children in this state, struggling without him. Suddenly, his daughter Anna screamed, "Dad, Daddy, Daddy!" Her voice jolted her mother awake. "Anna, what is it? What's happening?" her mother asked in a panic. "Look, Mummy!" Anna pointed to the monitor, where the lines had gone flat. They both froze. It could only mean one thing. Her father was gone. At that moment, the doctor walked in, pulling out his stethoscope. He didn't say anything, but his expression said it all. Anna silently prayed for a miracle, while her mother and siblings, who had rushed in with the doctor, were already crying, their worst fears becoming reality. It had been over a year since Anna's father passed, and things had taken a rough turn. The family was barely getting by. They were literally feeding from hand to mouth. The only thing they had left was the roof over their heads. Anna had picked up a part-time job at her dad's friend's mechanic workshop while juggling school. It wasn't easy, and seeing her younger siblings at home, unable to continue their education because of school fees, broke her heart. She hated that they were stuck doing nothing while their friends were moving forward. Eventually, Anna had to make the hard choice to drop out of university. She couldn't keep up with both school and work, and someone needed to take care of her siblings. So, she decided to focus on her job, hoping to save up enough to get them back into school, even if it meant putting her dreams of becoming a mechanical engineer on hold. Years later, Anna's brother became a tech expert, and her sister achieved her goal of becoming a nurse. Despite their success, Anna remained stuck in the same place, working as a mechanic and still unable to return to school. She hoped that her siblings, now financially stable, would assist her in opening a small workshop so she could better support their aging mother. However, when she approached them, her hopes were crushed. Her sister coldly remarked, "I never asked you to drop out of school for me," while her brother added, "We appreciate what you and Mom did for us, but we can't afford to open a workshop right now," before dismissively throwing a bundle of 200 naira notes at her. "After all these years, this is how they repay me? I feel so betrayed," Anna cried, her voice shaking with hurt. She had gone straight to her best friend's house after the embarrassment she faced. Susan, her best friend since secondary school, squeezed her hand. "I know it's hard, Anna, but remember, as long as there's life, there's hope. We've been through worse, and we always find a way." Anna wiped her tears, determination slowly replacing her pain. "You're right. I won't let this break me. I'll pick up the pieces and move forward, not looking back." Susan smiled. "That's the Anna I know. We'll face whatever comes, together." With Susan by her side, Anna felt ready to face the future, stronger than before. They've been through this before, weathering every storm life had thrown at them. When Anna's father passed away, Susan was there, offering a shoulder to cry on. And when Susan lost both of her parents in a tragic motor accident, it was Anna who held her together, providing the strength she needed to carry on. So this one wouldn't be an exception. She was ready to face it head on. "Babe, you won't believe this. A colleague just sent me a scholarship link, and I think you're a perfect fit. I've already forwarded it to you on WhatsApp, so check it out ASAP." Susan's voice crackled with excitement over the phone. Anna couldn't help but wonder why Susan was so hyped. After all, it was just another scholarship link. She started thinking back to the countless applications she'd sent out before, only to face rejection after rejection. The last thing she wanted was to get her hopes high again, just to have them crushed. But knowing how much Susan cared, she decided to give it a shot. "What's the harm in trying, right?" she muttered to herself. Fast forward to a few months, neither Anna nor Susan could believe it. They were jumping up and down, screaming with joy. Anna had just received the best news of her life. She'd been awarded a fully funded scholarship to study mechanical engineering at one of the top universities in the US. It felt surreal, like her dreams were finally coming true. Tears of joy streamed down her face as she hugged Susan tight, feeling overwhelmed with gratitude. Anna couldn't help but think, what would I have done without Susan? 4 years later, Anna's hard work and determination paid off. She not only earned a degree from the prestigious MIT, but she also graduated with distinctions, becoming the valedictorian of her class. Her brilliance caught the eye of NASA, and she landed a job there. With her success, she brought her mom to live with her in the US, finally giving her the life she always deserved. Even with everything that's changed, Anna and Susan kept in touch. Susan had gotten married and moved to England, but that didn't stop them from planning their dream girls trip to tour the world together. Life was good, and they were ready to take it all in. Her siblings realized the depth of Anna's sacrifice and their own ingratitude, and were filled with regret. But it was too late. Anna had moved on, leaving behind the country and the pain that once held her back.